with as we look at the Pro Elite MX2 lineup. Wilson Todd, Jesse Dobson, who we will touch on in just a moment, Bailey Malkowitz, Reese Budd, Dylan Wills, Alex Larwood. Another one we need to talk about, Ryder Kingsford, Levi Rogers, Noah Ferguson, and Haruki Yokoyama.
Caleb Barham, Isaac Ferguson, Jai Constantino, Blake Fox, Liam Andrews, Jace Cosford did very well in that first moto. Hugh Mackay, Chandler Burns, and John Bova.
Now, while we just get that opportunity, there was so much going on in Moto number 1 with these guys, Lee Hogan.
There sure was, and I mean, it all started with a bunch of carnage, really, to tell the truth. We're in the starters' hands here, 15-second board up, and we're hoping for a very, very clean start here in a drop of the gate. And who's your pick for the whole shot, Danny Ham?
Well, that's going to be tough. Anyone from the inside, there's some fast bikes there. Reese Budd had a great launch out the last time. The 5-second board is up. We're about to find out the answer to that question, Lee Hogan, as they launch out. Middle of track looks pretty good. Oh, the Honda up the inside. It is Wilson Todd.
Wilson Todd came in with force in dominating fashion. And what started off, I thought, to be Dylan Wills. Trying to spot him and see where he was. I believe it may not have been. There was another rider. That could be number 16 there. I can see Liam Andrews, number 32 in the Red Honda. Reese Budd up there in the top 3 on the Yamaha machine.
Yeah, Kingsford also up there. I saw Larwood is around about just in front of mid-pack as they come through here. There is Kingsford up the inside on the 21. Ferguson on the 29 machine sits there in second. He was strong in Moto number 1 as well. Small mistake.
Now, a passing move from Jesse Dobson on the Serco Yamaha. Now, Danny, I'm going to let you explain. You did a bit of investigation during the lunchtime. We're going to have a quick look here. A whole shot brought to you by 7. Of course, was Wilson Todd. Another good whole shot. He's just been a whole shot machine. Danny, talk us through what happened to Serco Yamaha rider Jesse Dobson.
Yeah, so Dobson riding exceptionally well in that first moto. We only just caught a glance of it, and by the look of it, this isn't affecting him. But in fact, just after the finish line, he tried to make a pass on someone, lost the front wheel, ended up getting thrown over the bars, and then when he landed, he put his arm out, dislocated his shoulder. We thought a snapped arm, but no, just a dislocated shoulder. We'll throw that back in, and we'll go back out and race once again. So there he is, sitting in 3rd place. Man, I've never dislocated a bone. I never want to. But to do that right now, when I spoke to him, it looked like he had nothing wrong at all.
Well, from the way he was holding his arm, I almost certainly thought he'd broken his wrist. It was like he was trying to hold it together. No, it ended up being a dislocated shoulder. He's got it back in. It'd be all taped up by the Race Safe crew. And he is back out, putting down some very, very fast laps at the moment. But Wilson Todd's got Noah Ferguson all over the back of him at the moment.
Yeah, I am really impressed with Ferguson right now. We've seen some great rides out of him. If I remember rightly, back to Canberra last year was also another great ride out of him. Similar conditions to what we see right here. He's flying at the moment, right on the back wheel of Wilson Todd. So he's going to make him work for it if he wants to maintain that lead. As they go through here, drop back to the next 3 Yamaha riders right behind them of Dobson, Malkowitz, and Budd. 4, 5. Kingsford, Larwood. It's Yamahas everywhere.
Malkowitz already made his way up into 4th place there, and he was our race 1 winner. So a spectacular ride from Malkowitz, who came out of the top 5, climbed his way through, made a pass on Reese Budd, who of course had a little bit of an altercation with a lapped rider who had gone down. A huge over the handlebars crash. Got back up and still did exceptionally well, scoring very, very nice points. But it was Malkowitz with maximum points in Moto 1.
How's Kingsford right here? Oh, back wheel so close to touching. Big scrub up the inside. He may make this pass work as he goes down the inside and moves himself up in front of Reese Budd. So great ride there by Kingsford. Behind them is the number 5, Alex Larwood. And that was the other topic I wanted to touch on, is that Alex Larwood went down hard first turn, and he had to work his way from last all the way up to I think a top 10 finish. Great ride, but he's got a lot of work and a lot of points to make up in this race to regain what he lost out of Moto number 1.
So another average start from Larwood, but he's just bumped up another spot, and he's relegated Reese Budd from 6th back to 7th. Larwood moves his way up into 6th place, and he's only just over 1 second behind Ryder Kingsford.
Ferguson, wow, still ripping in there in 2nd place, right behind our race leader of Wilson Todd into this long right-hander. Now, he likes the outside line, does Ferguson. Dobson, nice and smooth.
Well, Wilson Todd's got to ask himself the question, what do I want to do? Do I want to slow it down a bit and just win and not be too impressive speed-wise? Big mistake, a little in-swinger from Wilson Todd there. Or do I want to go out and drop these guys 5 seconds in 2 laps and go down? No, I don't want to do that. So I think we're seeing a slightly smarter Wilson Todd this time, but it's starting to jam up behind him. He needs to pick the pace up ever so slightly.
Well, there's only 2/10 difference between the top 4 in lap time that last lap around. These boys are absolutely flying right now. Wow, what a race this is developing in 20 minutes still to go in this moto. Of moto number 2, Pirelli MX2. Ferguson, where is he going to find the room? Oh, right here, almost touches the back wheel, dives in deep. Dobson there also trying to take advantage of this. Will he make the pass? He switches to the inside.
What a awesome battle we're seeing here. Jesse Dobson on the far inside. Is he going to be able to make a pass?
Oh, Todd!
Wilson Todd has somehow gone from 3rd back to 1st in 1 hit out.
Wow, what an exchange of places there it was between the top 3. And then again, joining the party, Malkowitz, our race 1 winner, just sitting back there going, boys, what are you doing? I'm just going to take advantage of it. Whoever doesn't come out of this one alive.
An awesome battle up at the head of the pack for race position here, but as it sits at the moment, Wilson Todd leads from Noah Ferguson, and in the 2-circle Yamaha boys, Jesse Dobson and Bailey Malkowitz, they were all in the 47s, other than Bailey Malkowitz and Alex Larwood, both in the 46s. How about that pace? Larwood was the fastest with the low 46, 146.2.
Oh man, he's shaking up. And let's have a look at this Honda replay right here. Watch Ferguson dive down the inside. Didn't expect probably to dive in so hard. Got a little bit of a kick. Both riders come together. Dobson thought, thank you very much. I'm going to get these. I love this switchback just here from 14 machine. Read the play perfectly. Tried to dive back to the inside.
Great battles to and fro. We send the top right corner. That's correct, Danningham. We've got 3. It looked like a mistake. Who's back in 2nd? Was that Dobson? Yes, a little bit of a gap because it was all over the back of Wilson Todd. Beautiful scrub over the top of that jump. It was the previous corner where we saw some kind of a mistake from that drone shot that dropped Dobson back the distance that we can see at the moment.
Bailey Malkowitz also has made that pass from Ferguson. Larwood around the outside of the number 5. He is next in line to try get up with our lead riders. Big jump over that tabletop. Runs out of room going into that turn. So these 5 riders are really going to be playing it out for the rest of this one as we head down to Kate. Dobson's mechanic.
Yes, I've got Jesse Dobson's mechanic, Ben Dutton here. Can you just give us an update on how Jesse's going and how he's feeling coming into this round? He's battling now for the top spot with a dislocated shoulder.
Well, surprisingly, he wasn't feeling too bad after he got the shoulder back in. So, and he's just moved into P2 now. So, yeah, I was supposed to be on the board there, but yeah.
Totally distracted. All right, mate, you get back on the wall.
All right, thanks.
So Serco Yamaha boys battling to and fro here. Jesse Dobson, and he's got his teammate who won race 1, trying to go around the outside. Bailey Malkowitz has got some serious corner speed, and that is where he made the pass on Reese Budd, and does the same to his teammate here. He is on fire. Could this be the day for Bailey Malkowitz to go 1-1?
Well, if he continues this pace, then there's a damn good chance that could be the case, Leo. It is so smooth at the moment. That outside line working so well. Tips into that corner, the front wheel just climbing out over that rut as they work towards now our race leader, Dobson, tipping it in hard as they go down into this 4 turn. Dobson on the 14 machine, of course. Exceptional ride in the circumstances of race number 1.
He's got some great lines out there, Bailey Malkowitz, but not just that. Wherever he places the bike on the track, he seems to be really loose and agile with his upper body, and that's what you need when you're riding in ruts like this. If you're too stiff in your upper body, you can find yourself getting cross-rutted so easily and making a mistake or perhaps even going down.
So opening laps of this moto were quite intense, but it looks like the guys may have just settled into a little bit of a groove as we take a quick look at this replay of the pass into 2nd. Watch for the outside in the background there, that 11 machine. He is going to, oh sorry, this is between Noah Ferguson and 2nd place. Dobson up the inside, so Ferguson just a little bit too wide in that exchange.
totally different lines too. That's been such a spectacular part of the track here, and two riders coming together, not too badly. Noah Ferguson could have very easily got on the gas hard and could have been very nasty for Wilson Todd, but it was enough to lift him up and send him out towards the outside. Great to see there.
Jace Cosworth, I think. As our lead rider through that very long left sweeper and starting to find form, I feel.
Yeah, nice form there from Wilson Todd. All right, time for a quick break here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more MX2 action.
Still maintaining that lead at the moment. He has 2.2 seconds over our second place in Circo Yamaha rider of Bailey Malkowitz. Now Malkowitz only needs to finish in that place and should be awarded the overall for the day, but I know he would like to get up there and run with our race leader, not only for more points in the championship, but also for the confidence moving forward for the later rounds in this championship, to know that he can get up there, run and challenge. They make their way around, but certainly Wilson Todd seems to have found his feet just a little bit more since his opening laps, as he stretches out that lead now to 3.1 seconds. You can see on the side there, and actually Wilson Todd just at the fastest lap for the race with 145.4 compared to a 147.3. That's a massive difference at this point in the race.
Time we've seen a 145. We've seen a couple of 146s. No one's been down into the 145s.
So definitely finding form at the moment, and if he gets this confidence and form going, he is certainly going to be hard to be caught back up as he works his way around. Very nice line up the inside, little pop over the top of that bump, then works his way through this very difficult corner.
He's making that treacherous inside run look not too difficult whatsoever, tipping it into the Michelin left-hander here and making it look reasonably easy out there at the moment. 13 and a half minutes to go here in the Pirelli MX2 Moto 2.
It actually makes it look like we might actually be able to make the turn that good as well. That was too simple. All right, there is Lyle Woods on the number 5, just going out of that Alpine Star turn.
Up to third place.
Yeah, up to third place in front of Ferguson.
So been a little bit of a quiet race for Reese Budd there back in 6th place.
Up to third place. Is that right? We lost Dobson. We lost somebody.
Well, Dobson back. It's saying Dobson in 12th place. So we've got Liam. Well, we've had that trick played on us earlier on before, which I believe may have been nobody's fault, but perhaps a transponder issue. So let's just wait and see if we've had some form of drama with Dobson, because our lap scoring is telling us that he's down in 12th place at the moment, back to 13th, Jai Constantino. But we can see on screen at the moment Reese Budd on the Yamaha, and he's got himself some company. Oh, very close for Ryder Kingsford and Noah Ferguson, almost coming together there.
That was very close over the finish line. Budd now trying to make his way past Ferguson up the inside there on the number 3 machine.
Welcome back to the Penrite Oils ProMX Championships, brought to you by AMX Superstores here at Wodonga. Spectacular conditions, the track is amazing, and the racing has been even better, Danny Ham. We are here in the Pirelli MX2 Moto 2, 11 minutes to go, and Wilson Todd on the factory Honda HRC machine is stretching out that lead every lap at the moment. He's got a 4.8 second lead over race 1 winner Bailey Malkowitz, who, if he stays in this position at the moment, Malkowitz will take the overall on the game.
He looks comfortable right now. Looking to the back there was Malkowitz. I didn't quite see it. Might have been Larwood there. It's hard to pick up. We'll try and see if we have lost Dobson.
5, so yes, it is.
We've lost Dobson somewhere.
We have.
Yeah, so unfortunate for him. We'll try and get some kind of answers on that a little bit later, but certainly the lead is stretching out for Wilson Todd at the moment. 4.9 seconds as he makes his way towards the finish line with 11 seconds left. There is Dobson, so he's still on track. We which is good to see, but he certainly dropped a long way back. He's back there with Dylan Wills in that vicinity, which is back there in 9th place.
It doesn't look like he's scuffed up anything. It doesn't look like he has bent handlebars or dirt down one side in particular. So it'll be interesting to find out what's happened to him. Beautiful line up the inside there by Wilson Todd as he comes past the mechanics area. Pitboard's coming out. Such good inside information there to see what the mechanics are passing across to the riders.
Focus stand was the board for Larwood, making sure that he tries to stay as smooth as we can, as you see right there. Perfect example of that going through that big long run. Very easy just to sit down nice and early in that one and make it a little bit difficult. Standing up through there, just taking your time, and I think that's what they're trying to achieve, to stay nice and smooth. Malkowitz right there in 2nd place, but he has some pressure now.
And Larwood is coming, and Larwood has been really impressive so far in the first 2 rounds, and a huge mistake and a big foot gap there for Bailey Malkowitz as he sneaks a look over to the right-hand shoulder, and just like that, Larwood flies up the inside, number 5 on the Yamaha machine. He's carrying some serious momentum around the outside there, and I believe that'll slot him up the inside, and the change of position has happened. I'm going to say 7 minutes plus a lap. We've got more than 3 laps. We've got 4 laps at least to go.
Yeah, so it could turn out that way. We are going to get the lapped rider effect put into this as well, as we see Wilson Todd getting held up there trying to dodge the lapped riders while getting a new line through that right-hander. And Larwood will have to deal with this in just a moment as well.
Beautiful line there through that corner. Did you see it was very similar to Wilson Todd's, however, he stepped out, just slightly missed it and missed the bump. Okay, let's quickly go down to Kate.
I've got Nash, Alex Larwood's mechanic. Nash, can he catch Wilson Todd is what we want to know.
Well, it's just closing the second, the last lap. So there's 6 minutes to go, and there's a 4-second gap. So fingers crossed, it's riding good. So we'll see what happens.
Thanks, Nash.
Now, I was hoping to get a little bit of on-screen vision of Alex Larwood in 2nd place there, just to see if he's riding out of his comfort zone. I'll tell you, from what I've seen, he is not riding out of his comfort zone. He is smooth as you can be out there on this track, and he is coming.
I agree. I haven't seen a mistake out of him yet. He
Looks
is
great.
just picking the good lines. At the moment, Todd, though,
Yes.
is searching.
That was a great line through there, and that's what the good riders do. They find these good lines quicker than everybody else.
Yep, definitely looking around, trying to find something different to keep that momentum going as they work through that Gabrielle last corner turn. There is Malkowitz still back there as the times even out that last lap around.
Yeah, very, very similar. Wilson Todd at 147.7 to Larwood 147.9. 0.2 of a second slower. Nothing in at that lap. So we're at the 5-minute mark to go in the Pirelli MX2 Moto 2. It really needs to happen now. This next lap is where it will either stabilise, and I think it will stay where it is, or if Larwood can do something spectacular, he could perhaps put a little bit of pressure on and try to force a mistake from Todd. But it's, see that line that we were talking about there? Brilliant.
Yeah, it seems like it's slower, but when you avoid all those bumps and just be able to keep that momentum going, things seem to work out and quicken up a lot for these riders. So we see the gap now. There is Malkowitz just going through that turn as well. He is still back there, 3 seconds back. He can take advantage of a big mistake. But certainly at the moment, he doesn't need to get past these guys to get the overall. Still, if you drop one more back, then there might be an issue, but a 1-3 should still get him the overall.
Larwood looking exceptionally good at the moment. A totally different line up and over that scrub jump to everyone that's staying off that far left-hand side. And I believe it's got to be quite choppy when you land. When you've got hundreds of bikes landing in that same spot, it's going to be beat down. Another interesting line there. He's just really creative with his lines. I love what we're seeing from Alex Larwood.
That was a little bit too creative. little in-swinger going on there as he goes through.
Don't like that line compared to Wilson Todd's through there. That was Wilson Todd's through there was amazing.
Well, let's see if Wilson Todd has answered the call. 148.1 that last lap around compared to a 148.3. So again, leveled out, and at this rate, that gap isn't closing down enough to consider. This is more of our race leader conserving, controlling that lead.
Yeah, and not getting out of his comfort zone. He's smart enough to be able to, have a look over his shoulder, a scan across the track and see where his main competitors are. He's got a lot to think about. He was unstoppable and hadn't dropped a moto so far. So what he could be staring down the barrel of here is, okay, we're going to leave round 3 with another win in the final moto, but the only chink in my armour was the fact that I dropped one moto. If he makes a mistake here and it goes pear-shaped in Moto 2, then all of a sudden you've got a completely different scenario and story on your hands.
And comes away. Oh, how about this? 32, Liam Andrews in 4th place. This is a fantastic ride. And he hasn't been sitting there the whole time. He's moved forwards to get to where he is right now. So this is a really, really good ride by Andrews on the 32 Honda right there.
Such a talented rider, Liam Andrews. He's the son of Craig Andrews, who was a great rider, came through at the same time as myself and Cameron Taylor, Glenn Smith, Taylor, Smith and Andrews were the factory Honda riders. I was on Kawasaki at the time. We all battled. His dad is a true icon of the sport back then in juniors, and it's great to see that talent's come through into Liam, his son at the moment, who's doing a fantastic job on what is a privateer Honda machine.
Ferguson there, Justin through for a moment there. He's resparred the number 3, who's also having another good ride. Solid ride in the first moto, back a little bit further in this one, but still working forwards as the clock ticks down to 1 minute and 50 seconds. So we'll be seeing the last lap board soon. It won't be the next lap around, I don't feel, but our leaders have gone across the line. Well, actually, it's going to be very close as we go across the line the next time. So there might be only one more to go.
Well, that gap, as you mentioned, it has stretched out now to 6 seconds between Wilson Todd and Alex Larwood. It's only 3 seconds back to Malkowitz, so Larwood needs to make sure he doesn't slow down too much and drop back into the clutches of Bailey Malkowitz. Of course, like you mentioned, a 1-3 is staring down the barrel of an overall victory, but a 1-2 would be even nicer.
It would be, but if you're not going to be able to get there without pushing the envelope a little bit, risking it too much, then it's much better to stay there. And going on your point as far as Wilson Todd going away with the win in this one, he also goes away with second place points. He loses very little in that championship.
And there really isn't anyone too close to him at the moment. Yeah, it's one thing that he's dominated and won nearly all of the motos. But there hasn't been one particular rider that's gone 2-2-2, 2-3-2, etc. There hasn't been anyone to do that. The next in line I would have thought would be Larwood. However, he's had not the best Moto 1 here today. And look, he didn't have the most spectacular round 2 at Mahara. He's the next best in line. And Bailey Malkowitz is looking pretty shiny as well at this stage, but no one seems to be in the same league from a championship chase point of view as Wilson Todd.
Well, the riders are making their way to the finish line. It's going to be very close, but I think they're going to do an extra lap. 13 seconds on the clock. Wilson Todd should be coming up and over it just about now. So yes, again,
yes,
they've just
once again the clock,
a little bit short.
The clock can either work for you or against you, and in this particular case, it has worked against Wilson Todd. He would have loved to have seen that last lap board, 1 to go, but I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference at the moment. He doesn't look to be fatigued. He doesn't look to have lost concentration, and he certainly isn't under any racetrack pressure at the moment from anyone. He's just out on a midweek training session at the moment, looking in fine form.
Bike sits so settled through those nice flat turns, don't they? Beautiful acceleration going through there, really sitting nice as he has that inside line. That's the one you spoke of before. So again, we said that he was looking around, he's trying to find those lines, and maybe that's why we saw that lead stretch back out just enough to go, okay, I can match your pace and I can break your charge. And Larwood has gone, okay, that's it. Only a couple of laps to go.
The one thing that comes to mind,
okay, let's stop talking about that.
It's like no commentator's curse here, okay, Danny? One thing I wanted to make mention of, the bike must have some serious horsepower because he hasn't really dropped any hole shots. I can't really think of any hole shots that he's dropped throughout the series so far out of 6 motos. And you have to think, I don't know what he's weighing in at. He's got to be one of the heavier riders. He's certainly tall, super tall, but it's not like he's exceptionally lean like the Bailey Malkowitz. He's got a little bit more size to him. So for that bike to be lugging him up starts where he had 2 clear hole shots at Mackay and an uphill, you know, a track where you need brute horsepower up that start straight. So clearly they've got that bike absolutely singing along.
Well, he will come around to receive a lap board, and this time around, as the time has expired, he still maintains that 5 or so second lead as they come across 5.3. It's shifted out to, so not much difference in it. He is on a, well, he truly is on a Sunday ride at the moment. He just needs to close this one out. 1 more lap to go. He knows where everyone is on track. Nice clean lap right now, and he's coming away with great points in this championship.
Wilson Todd will just be hoping to make his way through this lapped traffic with no problem whatsoever as he approaches the deepest, ruttiest parts of the track right here, which has caused a lot of dramas. Have a look there, Danny. What are we talking? 8, 9?
At least, even through that part of the corner. And not only that, one line turns into 2, you know, so you've got to really be on your game to make sure that you know exactly what line you want to take, where, for, you know, Wilson Todd's point of view, where the other riders are going to go, so you don't follow them through and put yourself in a position where you can get caught up.
And it's so great to see him watch that from the safety of the commentary box.
Oh, yeah, it's, there's times where you wish you're out there, and then there's times you just go, yep, you can have it, boys, and this is one of them. It looks tough out there, no doubt. These boys are having to work for it to earn their positions today.
Well, it's not very often that you will string together a complete championship campaign without the slightest of mistakes. But what we were looking at with the factory Honda HRC rider Wilson Todd was staring down the barrel of perhaps having one of those perfect seasons. It wasn't to be after Moto 1 today at the Pirelli MX2 that he has come out and made amends here in Moto number 2. The factory Honda HRC rider with the red background and carrying number 20 about to come through and take a terrific race win here. Checkered flag and victory for Wilson Todd. Alex Larwood comes through 3.8 seconds behind, and Malkowitz will come through. I believe will take the overall. What a great race from him. He will be absolutely stoked, and as he should be, the Serco Yamaha crew will be over the moon with that. But Pirelli results MX2 Moto 2. Wilson Todd with the win. Back to Alex Larwood, Bailey Malkowitz, Liam Andrews and Noah Ferguson.
Kingsford with another solid result. Constantino back there in 7th. Dylan Wills with a much better ride this time after a little issue in the first one. Rogers and Reese Butt would have been one of those riders that went down in that last turn.
Yes, makes sense. In 11th place, Isaac Ferguson. Jace Cosford there in 12th place, not quite as good as Moto 1. Jesse Dobson back there in 13th. Caleb Barham.
You just cruised on through there into P3.
Well, yeah, just tried my best at the start of the race. It was going good. Caught up to Wilbur a little bit, then he pulled away, and then after that I just decided to stay on the bike and think about the overall. So pretty stoked about that, and third over 1-3 for the day. Yeah, no, it's a good effort for us and the team, so yeah, pretty happy.
Excellent stuff, congratulations. And in P2, excuse me, winner, Alex Larwood with Yamalube Yamaha. Wow, what a comeback from Moto 1 P17 to P2.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't, in the first moto, I had a bit of a first turn crash, and yeah, had to fight for that one, but got off to an awesome start in the second one, and yeah, was able to charge through into second, so I'm happy with that.
Fantastic, congratulations. And in P1 from Honda Racing, Wilson Todd, a much better result from Moto 1. You won that very comfortably.
Yeah, I felt pretty good. First couple of laps, I was not so good. I was trying to chase a few lines, and Isaac threw it up the inside of me, but got back around him, and then Star just got comfortable, and it's just sort of rode it to the end.
Congratulations, well done. More points for your mega championship campaign.
Yeah, thanks.
Well done, boys.
Williams on the 82. He came across in second the first time around. Tower after a crash Cash also in the first moto. We expect some more big things out of him. Byron Dennis tying team. Ryan Alexanderson, our race 1 winner. Jack Mather, Jed Alsop, Caden Minia, who was also very impressive. Cooper Holroyd, again, another rider that was very impressive. Miles Gilmore round out the top 10.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if Campbell Williams can continue his form and step up and keep that championship points chase alive and keep stretching that points lead, Danny Hannah.
Yeah, it's the rest of the field, a 40-strong field. It's taken their gate as well. It was a huge moto number 1, plenty of action for this class. So seeing all of our riders just lining up to make sure they get their bikes ready to go. Those start buttons, which are essential here on this great start gate. Great being mesh great, not just a great old start, it probably is, but plenty of grip, so they need those start buttons pulled right down so that they can control that front wheel from lifting up off the start line.
It wasn't a fantastic start from Cooper Holroyd in that first moto, a sensational hole shot by quite a ways over everyone. However, turn 2, a very aggressive Connor Towell up the inside and goes down. And we've seen it so many times from Towell. He really does need to keep it on 2 wheels and put that fast pace into race results.
Yeah, we've seen exceptional pace out of him, and we do know that he can be up there. He just needs to keep it on the 2 wheels. You can see the 15-second board up and ready to go for this Maxxis MX3 class. You'll see the 5-second board just about to go up right now for moto number 2 of this class. Gates ready to go down. Who's going to launch out first? Big jump from the center, but it's going to be inside the controls this one once again.
Looks like everyone's made it through without too many dramas. One rider going off the track. You can see there, looks like Connor Towell with the whole shot there, and it looks like Campbell Williams back in 3rd place. Yes, it is Connor Towell in this early lead. That looks to be Brock Flynn in 2nd place.
Yep.
And Campbell Williams with another top 3 start. Byron Dennis back there in 4th.
Holroyd also there. There's one rider just going down, the 185 machine. That's Riley Fitzpatrick, so bad start for him. As we spoke about it just moments ago, Connor Towell, as we look up and see our leaderboard at the moment, Towell, Flynn, Williams, Dennis, Mather, Holroyd, Owens back in front, and Alexanderson, who I thought got a good jump, but he is a long way back.
Yeah, race 1 winner back there in 8th place, Ryan Alexanderson, number 62. So he's got his work cut out for him if he's going to try to get back up there into that number 1 position. Our race leader, Connor Towell, at the moment, he's got the speed to win, just crashes way too much. Let's quickly mention our whole shot winner, Connor Towell, brought to you by 7.
There is Williams on screen, looking very comfortable again. 60 machine in 2nd place of Brock Flynn. And they're all chasing Connor Towell. So, can we see Connor Towell get his best performance of the year in this moto right now? If he continues to ride like this, he's certainly going to end the moto up the front. As long as we can keep it up with no mistakes, this could be his breakout ride for the year.
Absolutely, Connor Towell, we showed last year in the MX3 class when he was a whole year younger. He was a junior last year, and he got a couple of top 3 finishes. One of them was the top 3 overall. So we expect to see him another year under his belt, older head on his shoulders. We expect to see him up at the pointy end of the field. So great to see from Connor Towell. Brock Flynn continuing to hold on to 2nd place, but he's coming under extra pressure from Campbell Williams.
Right-hand turn, I did see Holroyd making quite a few passes and stepping himself up to a good position as well. So he's in 5th, right behind Byron Dennis on the outside, just there at the 43. That was Jack Mather, who's also trying to get that pass made back. Holroyd actually looks to go around 2 riders into 1 turn around the outside. I'm sure we saw him use that in the first moto as well. So that outside line is not dead. It's certainly still big play in the game, and right now that's put him up 2 more positions as Holroyd continues to work on Byron Dennis.
Well, currently the only rider in the 137 is Connor Towell. The next closest is Brock Flynn in 2nd place with a 138.7. So blisteringly fast times from Connor Towell.
Big difference. So it's what we'd expect to see out of him. If he continue to do that, he's going to move himself up a nice healthy lead and take that pressure off himself and ride the race that he needs to. But Williams already around the outside. It was a big dive in. Oh, wow. Did not want to give that one up just yet.
No, it was a little bit, off the side of the track there. Campbell Williams come back on. Brock Flynn did not want to give up that position, and he forced the issue up the inside. Now, this final turn before the finish line is an interesting one. We've got the far inside, which is very tight. Whoa, talk about the biggest of foot dabs, which turns into a high side. Look at how many ruts that corner has. The Gabrielle turn has not let us down.
Yeah, ruts are one thing that you can't rush as much as you want to. If you are, of course, you can do them extremely fast, but you need to be spot on when you go into them. Perfectly positioned as they go down. So what did that say? Flow. Line the lines. Exactly what he needs to do. And right now he's starting to pick up the pace. And in fact, he's just set the fastest lap of the race at a 1:47.7, only just 1/10 faster than our leader. So he will slowly creep towards the front. But Campbell Williams certainly a rider who can do that.
Well, these are two riders that are no strangers to each other. Conatau and Campbell Williams, they've known each other for years, they've raced each other for years, and quite often come together and go down together on the track. They're like a magnet to each other. Now, Campbell Williams has got bigger things to think about. He's got to think about the big pitch, which is the championship. So as to what will go down if these two end up close together on the track, we're going to have to wait and see how that plays out.
15 minutes left in this moto, so a lot of time for these riders to sort themselves out, figure out exactly where they are going to end up as that checkered flag flies. Campbell Williams looking in his fine form of not looking fast, but at times they just show it every single time. When you get that comfortable and feel that smooth, things become easy to you. And it's certainly what it looks like right now for our second place rider. Liam Owens on the 204 machine right behind Lloyd. There is Lloyd, the Yamaha rider on 28. Great ride by Owens as well for this one. We haven't said too much, but there he is, just in the background with a big T on the front of him. Todd Waters riding gear, obviously, and having an exceptional ride right there.
Before it changes, I just want to quickly make mention here. We've got Towell back to Williams, 3-second gap. Back to Mather, 3-second gap. Back to Alexanderson, 3-second gap. Dennis, a 3-second gap. Yeah, they're kind of in formation at the moment, and we're almost waiting for someone to make their move. What I think we're seeing from Campbell Williams at the moment is exceptionally smart riding. 2-2 will give him a clear overall win for the day, provided Alexanderson stays back there in 4th place. If Ryan Alexanderson makes the move on Mather, that will change things around, and Alexanderson will take the overall.
But all of these riders have got clear track at the moment, and all of them dropped off the pace in that last lap to 48s. We saw 47s, low 47s out of most of them over those last the laps prior to that. So whether they're just taking a breather mid-race at the moment, finding their rhythm, trying to get back into that comfort zone before they put another final push on.
Well, Campbell Williams got the fastest lap time that time to 1:47.4. He almost gained a few tenths of a second, finds himself in the 2s, 2.6 seconds now behind Conatau. Is he trying to make a late race push here? We've got just under 10 minutes to go.
This is the battle with Owens still trying to close that distance there on Holroyd in front of him. Gilmore behind them, now joining the party as well, right there on the 18, the blue bike. He's closed in a little bit as well, so he's making up a bit of time as they go across the line. That was a 1 second difference between those two riders as well. If we go back to the on the front, 4th place there by Ryan Alexanderson. There is our leader of Tower, and clearly up the inside there. It is close.
It is closing up at the head of the pack, and that's where Campbell Williams needs to be smart here. He wants to take the win. Every point is a point. It's one thing to sit back and be smart and get 2nd place. But he doesn't want to do that. I think he wants to try to take the win here, and he's trying to set up a pass on his arch rival, Conatau. ProMX Championships brought to you by AMX Superstores, of course, here at Wodonga, round 3, and a pass has been made for Campbell Williams, the factory Honda HRC rider. He needs to be careful because Conatau does not want to let it go that easy as he sneaks up next to the Honda rider. Both riders almost touching.
Well, you said they magnetised to each other. It almost happened once again. That was so close. Tao did not want to give that one up. But as we said, these riders are probably frantically just trying to find that ball. Oh, Connor Towell almost going down. A good note that we saw with Ferret saying that when he got behind those riders, he was able to move around the track and start exploring, finding those new lines. I feel that Campbell Williams has had that opportunity as well, sitting back there behind Towell. There is a chance Alexanderson, if he can clear these guys, could run up and challenge for the lead. He's made the pass on Towell already.
He's still sitting behind, isn't he?
No, we have Mather. There is Alexanderson, Towell just in behind them. So he's made one pass. He needs to clear another one. We've got yellow flags out at the moment. Campbell Williams, though, if he continues to ride nice and smooth, keep those lap times down, then he should be pretty safe. But
Jack Mather is coming. Jack Mather is on an absolute flyer at the moment.
Yeah, there they are, just bottom of the screen right there. Those two guys riding so fast. They're starting to drop Towel just a little bit, but those guys are coming. There they are, in back shot. Perfect.
And the tale to be told will be whether these two in their battle slow each other down or whether they speed each other up and bring themselves up to the back of Campbell Williams. And how will Williams respond to a three-way battle when he starts to think championship?
Well, it's still a healthy lead that he has over these two. 3 seconds is the interval according to our leaderboard on the side.
4 minutes to go.
4 minutes to go. So lap times on this next lap are going to be crucial. You see Alexanderson's got some nice lines around the outside, doesn't he?
He sure does. And the gap to me between Campbell Williams and Jack Mather looks very similar. Little mistake there, though, for Campbell Williams. So it'll be interesting to see once they come out of this right-hander and up and over the finish line. Looks to be similar. Let's watch this clock.
Oh, mistake by Mather and a mistake by Alexanderson. They really should have been the pass made, but both of these riders have made that mistake, locked into that one right up the inside.
We still see an almost 4-second gap between Campbell Williams and this battle between Mather and Alexanderson.
Well, there's a pass made just there.
Right.
There was a mistake by Mather around the outside, just got a little crossed up coming into that turn with the ruts. So he has cleared him, but 3 minutes left.
3 minutes plus a lap. Now, we've seen it so many times. It depends on when you cross the finish line as to whether time is working for you or against you. But I guarantee you, the thing we're going to see from Ryan Alexanderson now is he's got no choice but to lay it down, leave it on the track. If he stays in the position he's in, he's going to get second overall. That was a big mistake from Mather.
Yeah, so that was the mistake that cost him second place in this race. And you're right, Lee, it's going to depend also on how they get through these lap riders. We did see Alexanderson just get caught up a fraction that last lap around. Williams has some clear track in front of him at the moment, so he should be stretching out that lead just a little bit, I feel, in this next lap.
Well, lap time is saying 4.2 seconds gap. If they cross the finish line and we're talking high sixes, that's sort of roughly where I expect it to be, and that's sort of settled down a little bit. It's any lower than that, Campbell Williams is going to need to up that pace ever so slightly.
Well, the next time around too, they cross the line, there's only going to be 10 seconds left of the clock.
2.6 seconds, it's saying.
Yeah, there's only going to be 10 seconds on the clock the next lap round, so there's going to be another 2 laps after this one.
So it was 1.5 seconds. Campbell Williams has lost to Ryan Alexanderson this time. So if he doesn't up the pace at the end of the next lap with 1 lap to go, they're going to be on with the battle.
There is time at the moment for it to happen. So very interesting end of this moto as they clear through some of these lap riders. Alexanderson very smooth through these deep ruts. Towel starting to close in on Mather and trying to push him. We see that front wheel dancing all over the place. And very close to another mistake and down.
So the gap's back out to 3.085. Campbell Williams has responded ever so slightly. 1 minute and 5 seconds left on the clock.
Is that them two on the top of the screen? And there is Williams, there is Alexanderson. So visually you can see it is getting tight. And Williams will have to pick up the pace or slow down 10 seconds and get the last lap or the next lap around.
Well, I think if he slows down 10 seconds, he may have his hands full with Ryan Alexanderson, but like we mentioned earlier, his body, posture and position is looking nice and smooth. However, there's a little more urgency to him at the moment. Yeah, he wants to be smart. He knows another second place in this moto will still extend his championship points lead, but he didn't come here to just get second place.
I tell you, he's going to have to pick it up.
He needs to pick it up because he's not going. It's 22 seconds left on the clock.
10 seconds when they cross the line. He's got 2 more laps to go. Oh, this is getting interesting. Alexanderson certainly has the bit between his teeth at the moment. Look at this, 11, 10.
Wow, Danny Ham, you need to start writing some kids' books, I believe, because you just picked that perfectly.
It is
Timing has lapsed right now as we speak, and it is on at the head of the pack. Campbell Williams, how will you deal with this pressure from Ryan Alexanderson? It's championship versus overall on the day.
This part of the track that we're entering right now, I feel, is Alexanderson's strong point. The yellow flag out. So the boys have to obey this, slow down, find the right lines. They might need to go to a line they don't know just yet. But, Alexanderson was the one that got hurt the most out of that. He actually got caught behind that rider. So he dropped back just a fraction.
And chose to go over about 5 or 6 runs diagonally. So a little bit risky, but certainly lost just a little bit of time here. So that could give Campbell Williams just the slightest bit of breathing room as you can see. This last lap front wheel nearly going over the edge of the corner there for Alexanderson.
Oh, look at the gaggle of riders in front of Williams too to deal with over this next last lap that they're about to receive. He has got 5 lap riders he needs to clear. 3 of them are racing each other.
Big look over the shoulder from Alexanderson there. He's probably having a bit of a look and just going, well, hey, what can I do here? Is it time to just let it all hang out and risk a little tip over in the corner? He's got a beautiful line here up the inside and makes up so much time on Campbell Williams. So that's where Williams needs to watch out for the final lap.
Down towards the finish line, we will receive the last lap board. This time, Williams slow out of that corner, almost landing on that bike. He's forced out a little wider. But that also puts Alexanderson up the inside, locked in behind that lapped rider. Quick look over the shoulder by Williams. He knows the urgency now. He needs to get going.
Last lap board out here. Moto number 2 of the MX3 and the Maxxis tyres. It is on.
Wow, just trying to pick up where they are. I think just here, yes, there they are. So close, past the mechanics area, through the Maxxis turn. Williams on the outside. Alexanderson up the inside. Quick pull of those tear-offs and roll-offs to get some clear vision into this corner. He likes the outside. It has worked so well.
Such an important part of the track here. What run do you choose? Who's going to come out on top? Williams on the far inside leads to a nice little line there. Not such a bad choice, but Alexanderson makes up a little bit as they come around the outside. Now, I honestly feel that right-handed U-turn, Danny Ham. I don't think it's going to happen here. I think it's going to be that right-hand U-turn, 2 turns from the finish.
Yeah, I agree. He's so much stronger, but he has these riders right here in front of him that could block. Alexanderson looks to the inside, but he's going to get caught up. Oh, maybe not. Maybe he got a good run through there. Side by side, Williams looks over. This is amazing racing leading into this last lap.
You can throw a blanket over these 2 riders. Alexanderson is only a couple of metres, collects the track marker as he goes over the top of it as we approach the turn that we've been talking about.
Inside for Alexanderson, exactly. Oh, he's done well. He's gone to the inside as well, but not quite enough.
That was a beautiful line. It was the inside that protected himself, but he didn't lose that time with that tight hook. So he has prime position here and just needs to hold the inside in this next corner. But what will Alexanderson do in this final turn?
Round the last turn for the final time. Nowhere to go. Follows him through. Both the riders stabbing the foot. But it's going to be Campbell Williams that comes away with a win. Well done.
Well deserved victory for the factory Honda HRC team rider, Campbell Williams, and will extend his championship lead even more. But not only that, 2-1 will give him overall victory here today for round 3. But another great ride from Alexanderson. He was on fire today. Let's take a look at the Maxxis tyres results. MX3 Moto 2. Sensational victory from Campbell Williams back to Ryan Alexanderson, Jack Mather in third place, Connor Towell and Byron Dennis rounding out the top 5.
Miles Gilmore, Tyne Keane, Liam Owens, Caden Minier, as we said, back there in 9th. Cooper Holroyd back there in 10th after a good start to that race.
Jet Allsops in 12th, Hunter Collins in 13th, Kobe Hantis in 14th place, rounding out the top 15.
Jack Mather on the Husqvarna. Congratulations, another P3. You worked really hard out there.
Yeah, it was definitely tough. Finally got a half-decent start and just ran up front all the race, and the boys come through and they were riding unreal like usual. And yeah, it was tough, but we got it done. P3 for today. I'm pretty stoked.
Well done, well done. And in P2, Ryan Alexanderson on the KTM. That was an immense battle we got to see out there.
Yeah, it was a great battle with Campbell. Congrats to him, he rode great all weekend. He just had me in that last moto, but it was another good race. Just thanks to everyone who got me out here. 0-0 elite ride training, 60 helmets, and everyone else who helps me out.
Congratulations. And Campbell Williams, a huge win for you, more points for your championship. You're handling this pressure at Honda really well.
Yeah, thank you. No, everything's going really good this year. Happy with the new team and Yariv and everyone involved with that. No, they're all doing their work and I'm doing my work, so it's all paying off, which is good. I'd just like to thank the boys for the competition. They rode really good. Ryan was riding really good in that second one as well. And track was really good. They put on a really good meeting. So yeah, I'd just like to thank all my sponsors, Honda Australia, Yariv, Pirelli, just everyone. Thank you.
Well done.
Well, spectacular ride there from Campbell Williams. And yes, that noise in the background, we can hear MX2, race number 2. So we'll just take a quick look at the calendars coming up. Make sure you pop into your calendars round 4 of the Penrite Oils ProMX Championships, brought to you by AMX Superstores, as it heads to the City of Churches in Adelaide, May the 29th. We're going to head down now to Kate.
Wow, what an unbelievable day of racing in all the classes. So let's talk about some highlights from the weekend, Danny. MX2, there's a lot of blue going on in there.
Wow, it's been really mixed up a bit, hasn't it? Of course, Wilson Todd's so fast. We see that every single time, but there has been some new blood that's just found their form. Riders that we know should be up there have started to believe in themselves, and I think they are going to start challenging for the rest of the rounds too. So watch this space. It's definitely not decided yet.
Yeah, 100%. And then there's MX1, of course. Dean Ferris from Honda Racing has answered the call. It is excellent to see him back on the top step.
Yeah, I tell you what, it was great to see him get up there. And yeah, he did answer the call, but so did everyone else. You know, there's plenty of guys that have just walked into here going, we need to step it up right now, and they have. You know, they're excellent racing. And I guess, you know what, the biggest highlight is the racing all day. Today's racing was sensational. I cannot wait to get to the next round.
Your smile is so big, it's fantastic. Now let's talk about the next round, because we're heading to Gilman, South Australia on the 29th of May, which we missed out on last year. But what can we expect from that track and from these riders? Who's going to dominate? We've got a couple of home track boys there as well.
Yes, big point, home track guys. So Larwood, so fast here today, has been another rounds. Here's my pick for the next round, okay, in the MX2. You've got the home guys of Metcalf, you know, guys that have done so many laps. It is really a big track to work with, and yeah, I think it's going to be great.
Excellent stuff. Well, we'll see you there. Make sure you head online to promx.com.au, and we will catch you at the next round. Bye.